Hello everyone. Today I am starting new chapter of vector algebra of class 12th. Vector algebra, the term is vector, it's a physical quantity, physics term. Actually there are two quantities, one is a vector, second is a scalar. So we'll understand with the help of example. Suppose a person is going 10 meter, a person is going 10 meter from A to B. Okay. So simply it starts moving from here and going up to 10 meter. So what is this? It is the magnitude only. That means the length of these length between 2 points A and B is equal to 10 meter. So this is simple scalar quantity. It is scalar. When I use the term, the person is going 10 meter due east. 10 meter due east. Here you can see that this is the magnitude 10 meter as well as the direction is east. So in this quantity, there are two things. One is a magnitude, that means length, and second is a direction. So this quantity is called the vector quantity. Okay. So what is the definition of vector quantity? Definition of vector. Definition of vector. The quantity which is having magnitude and direction both. Okay. Quantity having magnitude and direction both, called vector quantity. Is it okay? This is called vector quantity. Now, how to represent vector quantity? We are going to represent it in that format. Suppose this arrow here, okay, like this. And when I use term, it is A, here is a B. So we'll use AB. And I put the arrow like that. That means this is the representation of vector quantity starting from A to B. Okay. If this is symbolically, we'll write like this. The same meaning is vector A. Or we can use AB only. This is also vector, initial, terminal, and like A. Okay. So that is also a vector quantity. So vector quantity can be represented like this: AB starting from A to B, initial point, terminal point. It's okay, right? So this is the definition. This is the way of the representation, how to represent this quantity vector. Next term is coming, that is position vector. Okay, position vector. So in class 11th, let me remind you, in class 11th you have studied about the position vector. Okay, what are the position vector? We are talking about a cuboidal shape. We are talking about a cuboidal shape. This is a cuboid. Suppose we are taking this side, it is x-axis, it is y, and there is z-axis. Okay. This is the point P, is origin, and we are talking about a point P, which is here, right? So when discussing about the position vector, position vector. In the position vector, what happened? From O to P. Okay. When we are going from O to P, that means what happens? The point O, 0, 0, 0. Okay. And this point, suppose it is X, Y, Z. Okay. Right. So OP is equal to OP. This is a vector OP. When going to vector OP, you know the procedure is when we are going here. So first of all, we'll have to go up to here. Then this is the direction, and then that is the direction. Okay. So this is the direction along x-axis. Okay. When you vectorize this term, so that means it will become xi. This is along y direction. It is yj, and that is zk. Actually, these are the unit vector. I'll explain you what are these. Okay. So these are called the unit vector. By the way, if algebraically if we understand, then we can understand like that. Suppose when we go to O to P, so first of all we are coming here, and now this is. It becomes a right angle triangle. In this right angle triangle, what is the value of this? So the value of this is, suppose this distance is x, it is y, and that is z. This is z. So here using Pythagoras theorem, this is x square plus y square. So this distance is under root x square plus y square. Okay. Using Pythagoras theorem, you can understand like that. It is x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. Okay. That is the point. And when we are reaching here, or this is the point when we are reaching here. So first we'll have to go like this here. So that is, what does it mean? It becomes a right angle triangle, x, y. So this is the point, the distance between them using Pythagoras theorem, under root x square plus y square. And what is this? This is z. So in this triangle, when we are using Pythagoras theorem, you can write here OP square is equal to, suppose this is OQ square plus QP square. So OP square is equal to OQ square, that means x square plus y square, plus QP square, that is z square. So therefore OP is equal to under root x square plus y square plus z square. Okay. And here we use the term as OP. OP, that means the position vector of P with respect to O. Position vector of P with respect to O, with respect to origin. Okay. Is x, y, z. Right. These are the position vectors. Distance under root x square plus y square plus z square. Right. After that it comes direction cosine. Next is direction cosines. I will understand the direction cosine in the same diagram. Once again I am making a diagram. Direction cosines and direction ratio, there are two things. Direction cosines. Again we'll have to make cuboid. Okay. X, Y, Z. This point P, suppose it is R. Distance from O to P is equal to R. If this line OP, which is making angle alpha, beta, and gamma along x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis, along x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. So this OP is making an angle alpha. Okay. In this triangle, cos alpha is equal to base upon hypotenuse. Base, that means its magnitude small x, and hypotenuse is r. cos alpha. Same line is making angle beta with y-axis. So this angle is beta. So when I write here cos beta is equal to y upon r. Y is along y-axis. And cos gamma. Gamma is what? This is making an angle with line OP, gamma. So cos gamma is equal to z upon r. Okay. So these are cos alpha, cos beta and cos gamma are called directions, cosines. These are cos alpha, cos beta and cos gamma are direction cosines. Direction cosines. Okay, these are called direction cosines. And these cos alpha, cos beta and cos gamma can be expressed in the form of small l, m and n. Okay, so now what happens? Suppose cos alpha is equal to, we have taken as L, direction cosine. So L is equal to x upon r, m is equal to y upon r and n is equal to z upon r. Okay. L x upon r, y upon r and z upon r. If we will squaring of all of them and adding, that what happens? Squaring and adding. L square plus m square plus n square is equal to x square r square plus y square r square and plus z square r square. LCM is r square. It is x square plus y square plus z square. So L square plus m square plus n square is equal to x square plus y square plus z square is equal to, we have considered as under root p. P is equal to under root x square plus y square plus z square. Therefore x square plus y square plus z square is equal to p, and p what we have taken, OP, distance is r. So it is r square upon r square, that means it is equal to 1. So one relation is L square plus m square plus n square is equal to 1. These are called direction cosines. When we are talking about the direction ratios, so these are the direction ratios. Only r is not required. Suppose this distance is a, this distance is b, and that is c. So a, b, c, that means intercept on x-axis, intercept on y-axis, intercept on z-axis are called direction ratios of it. Okay. This is clear, x square plus y square plus z square, because we have proved OP square. Already we have proved OP square is equal to x square plus y square plus z square. And OP is equal to, here we have taken as r. So r square is equal to x square plus y square plus z square. So this value we can put here, getting this. Okay. So that is one. After that, we'll discuss about the types of vectors, properties of vectors. Types of vectors. It's very important, it's very basic things. If you understand the basic things, after that you don't have any problem in solving the questions. Types of vectors. Types of vectors. Okay. Number one, types of vectors, zero vectors. Number one is zero vector. I think by the name you are understanding zero vector, what does it mean? Their magnitude is 0. The vector, its magnitude is 0, is called zero vectors. Okay. Magnitude of vector is 0, is called zero vector. Okay, denoted by like this. Second one is, by the name you will understand and remember, memorize by the name, zero vector. After that, there's a unit vector. Or the magnitude of 0 is zero vector. Other way, suppose A and A. A and A, what does it mean? Initial point, suppose this is a vector A, it is B. So this is called initial point and that is called terminal point. Initial and terminal point. So the difference between their terminal point and initial point is nil. That means it is called zero vector. So when I write here AA is called zero vector. Second one is given unit vector, unit. What is unit vector? Again, by the name we can understand. Its magnitude is 1 is called unit vector. If the magnitude is 1, magnitude is 1 is called unit vector. Okay, this is called unit vector. If the magnitude is 1, then it is called unit vector. Got it? After that, third one is called co-initial vectors. Co-initial. Co-initial vector. The vectors which starts from a same point. It's an initial point. So like with the help of this example, so O, A, B, C. These are called co-initial vectors because their initial point, their co-initial point is same. Okay. So vectors having initial point is same is called co-initial. It's okay. This is called co-initial vector. Initial point is same. That means the vector is starting from the point that is called the fix. Co-initial. After that, collinear vector. Next one is collinear. What is the meaning of collinear? Two or more vectors if they are parallel to the same line. Two or more vectors if they are parallel to the same lines irrespective of their directions are called collinear vectors. Suppose there is a straight line. And many vectors are there like this, here. So these all vectors which are parallel to this line, so these vectors are called collinear vectors. So what we can say that the collinear vectors, they are parallel of a straight line are called collinear vectors. Okay, they are called collinear vectors. Suppose this is a vector A, here's a vector B. What is this? Suppose it is minus vector A. So these all vectors are called collinear vectors. Okay, and collinear, so we can use the term as A is parallel to vector B. Our vector A is equal to lambda vector B. Because you know that when we remove the parallel sign, there must be a scalar quantities coming here that can be lambda. So it is co-linear vector. After that it is coming equal vectors. What is the meaning of equal? Two or more vectors are called equal if they are equal in magnitude as well as in directions. That means their directions should be same, AB and PQ. So if the length AB is equal to PQ and direction also same. So two or more vectors, they are equal in magnitude as well as same direction are called equal vectors. It's okay. Vector A is equal to vector B, like that we can use the term as equal vector. By the name we can understand equal vectors. After that, negative of a vector. Negative of a vector, that means two or more vectors, they are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction are called negation or negative of vectors. This is vector AB. Second is this. This is A. AB, like this. So one direction is AB, second direction is this. But they are equal in their magnitude. So if their magnitudes are equal but directions opposite are called negative of vectors. Okay. And one very important term which is given, that is called the free vector, which is very important. Oh, sorry, zero vector. I'll just remind you once again what are these things. One more I am writing, free vector. Okay. Next is a free vector. In this entire chapter, we have to discuss about the free vector. What happens, suppose there is a line in a space and many vectors parallel to that line. Suppose this is a vector, that is the vector. Okay. If the vectors are parallel or the position of this vector is parallel to the line, but only the displacement is there. Suppose there is a 10 meter, here is a 100 meter. It's okay, no problem. Their direction remains same. Only the displacement will be changed. Two or more vectors, they are parallel. Their displacement will be changed and they are parallel to a given line having the same direction are called free vectors in a space. For example, suppose this is one straight line, that is a vector, and this vector is going anywhere, but irrespective of it, the vector should not, its direction should not be changed, number one. Okay, and it should always maintain the parallel of this line, right? If the parallelism will be maintained like that, then we can say that these vectors are called the free vectors. That means they can be displaced, okay, but they will not change their directions. It's called free vectors. Got it? So these are the things, types of vectors. Number one is a zero vector. Once again, let us discuss about that. By the way, I think you don't have any problem in remembering these all things. Number one, we are talking about the zero vector. What does it mean? The vector who is having their magnitude is zero, like A vector is called zero vector. Second one is a unit vector. Its magnitude is one only. It's 1 centimeter, 1 meter, 1 kilometer, whatever it is. One unit. Magnitude is called unit vector. Co-initial vector. Two or more vectors, their initial point is same. It's called co-initial vector. Okay, like that. They are spreading from a point in any direction, called co-initial vector. By the way, one is also there, that is co-terminal vector. That means from the different ways the vectors are coming, but they are joining at a single point, are called co-terminal vector. Next one is collinear vector. Collinear vector, that means two or more vectors, they are parallel to the given line. If there is a line and two or more vectors are parallel to that line, then all the vectors are called collinear vectors. Okay, the directions may be different, may be opposite. After that, it is coming equal vectors. Two or more vectors are equal if they are equal in magnitude and same in direction. Negation of vector, negative vector. Two vectors are called negative vectors if they are in the same direction, their magnitude is same, but directions are just opposite. Okay, so these are the types of vectors. Now we can start exercise 10.1. It's a simple and oral exercise. Here we have to understand that which quantity is a scalar quantity and which one is vector quantity. Which quantity is scalar and which one is vector. Okay. Exercise 10.1. Exercise 10.1. Question number 1. Represent graphically the displacement of 40 km 30 degree east of north. Okay. What is the question number 1? Represent graphically the displacement 40 kilometer. 40 kilometer, 30 degree east of north. 30 degree east of north. Okay. I'll start representing the direction. North, south, west, and it is east. 40 kilometer, 30 degree east of north. Where's the north? This is the north and that is east. East of north, so that means from here. This is making 30 degree. 30 degree east of north. East of north. East side from the north. 30 degree and 40 kilometer. This is 40 kilometer. Okay. So this is the representation of the point P, which is 40 kilometer from this point, and it is 30 degree from east of north. This is geometrically representation or graphically representation. It's okay, right? It's a question number 1. Question number 2. Classify the following measures as a scalar and vector. So they are giving their question number 1. It's a 10 kilogram. Only kilogram is there. The weight, of course, it is a scalar quantity. Weight kg. Second one, weight. So scalar. What is the reason? Because it is not having direction, only magnitude. Second is 2 meter northwest. Both are having direction as well as magnitude. So it is vector. Second is vector. Third one is 40 degree only. 40 degree. It is scalar. Fourth one, 40 watt. Scalar. No direction. Fifth, 10 to the power minus 1 coulomb. 10 to the power minus 1 coulomb. And this is scalar. No direction it is. And next one is 20 meter per second square. 20 meter per second square. This is the acceleration. Of course, it is having the direction, so it is a vector quantity. Okay, 20 meter per second square. So that is question number 2. Number 3, classify the following as a scalar and a vector quantity. Same type of question. Time period. Third question. Time period is a scalar. Okay. First part. Second part is distance. Scalar. Person is going 10 kilometer. Scalar. After that it is force. Force. Force, what does it mean? Mass into acceleration, ma. So when acceleration is coming, that means it is a vector quantity. So it is a vector. Fourth one is the velocity. Velocity. It is also vector. Displacement with time, vector. And work done. Work done is scalar. Okay. Work done is scalar. Right. So these are the classification. Because in our term only magnitude is there, direction will be cancelled, direction is not there. So these are the classification of the vector and scalar quantity. Next is coming in figure 10.6. I square identify the following vector. One diagram is there. I am making a diagram, and after that we are going to this is the diagram. One question number 4. Directions upside, there's a direction, it is A, vector A. Here is a downside direction, vector D. Here is C, this side, like that, and one is B, it is also downside. Okay. In figure Z square, what is it? It is a square, that means magnitude of all 4 sides are same. And we are going to find out following vectors. One is coinitial. Number 1, coinitial. Coinitial, that means 2 or more vectors, their starting point, initial point is same. So their initial point is same. You can see this is one vector is D and second vector is C. Their starting point, initial point is same. So we'll write here the co-initial vector A and vector D are co-initial. Okay. Second part is equal vectors. Equal. What is the definition of equal vectors? 2 or more vectors are equal if they are equal in magnitude as well as their directions are same. So you'll see that the same directions, one is this and second, they are having the same direction. So vector B and vector D having the same direction. Okay, they are called the equal vector because these are this diagram is a square, and a square diagram, what does it mean? All 4 sides are equal. So they are equal. Third one is collinear but not equal. Collinear but not equal. Collinear but not equal. Collinear, that means the directions are same. Okay, going on the same direction. So you can you see that collinear but not equal. See C and A, they are collinear, that means they are parallel, but not equal, that means not same in the direction. So A and C, vector A and vector C, they are of course collinear, parallel, but not equal. Direction other side, it's a direction on right hand side, direction on left hand side. Okay, collinear but not equal. Got it? Next question number 5 is, fifth question, answer the following as a true or false. Vector A and minus vector A are collinear. Vector A and minus vector A are collinear. Yes, they are collinear. Vector A and minus vector A are collinear. These 2 vectors are collinear, only they are not equal, they are opposite in direction. So yes. Next one, 2 collinear vectors are always equal in magnitude. Collinear vectors are always equal, not necessary. If two vectors are collinear, not necessary they are equal in magnitude. They are parallel to each other. Two vectors having the same magnitude, two vectors having the same magnitudes are collinear, not necessary. Two collinear vectors having the same magnitudes are equal. Two collinear vectors having the same magnitudes are equal. If the vectors are collinear, okay, that means their directions may be opposite, so not necessary of it. Okay, right? So this is exercise 10.1. Okay, boys, so this is exercise 10.1. It's concluded. Now in the next lecture, we'll have to start some addition of the vectors and exercise 10.2. Okay, till then, bye. Thank you.